Man, my water. So I had like a whole juice. Anyway,
Uh,
just so that I can
you're not
correctly.
diluting.
Sorry.
I say you're not diluting it with water now.
No, I should have had juice to.
Oh, I thought you said you had juice.
No, no, no. This is early
Okay.
morning, my dear. Okay, ladies, hello and welcome to episode 51. I think we've crossed the 50
Yes.
marks while getting older, isn't it?
Yep.
Are we?
Okay, so hello, I'm Olori.
Hello, guys. I am Eka.
Hello, I'm Fa.
Oh God, Jesus.
Yeah, if it's taking us because we are going to the
British.
Britain.
She's giving us UK vibes, isn't it?
Hi.
Anyway,
Hmm.
let's do a quick. I do have a quick gist, a quick one. And my call out for today goes to Netflix.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you guys have heard, but apparently Netflix, because like now, I think most people, the way they use Netflix is one person buys, pays for the subscription,
Mm,
right?
Yeah.
And then you now, share the password to your friend group, and everybody,
mm,
comes on that way. And if
yeah.
you go on the Netflix, they have up to like 4 profiles that you can, add. So no one is, restarting somebody's episode, you know.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so now they are working on a new feature where the only people that you can share passwords with have to be in your same home, like physical home, if that
How
makes
would they know?
sense. I think they're going to do like some geotagging,
Huh.
right? Like, because
Uh,
like even like I don't know if your bank apps have this, but I know like in the abroad, right? If you are like one of the security checks is that before, if they see a charge on your accounts, right, that maybe doesn't seem like it's aligned to what you typically buy, they will flag the account and block your card for until you call them to
Yeah.
rectify.
yeah, yeah.
Now what they do is that because you can sync your at least on Apple, sync your ATM card to your Apple wallets, right? Or I think even your bank app. So now if the transaction happen in the same location that your card is in, right, they will
Mm,
not flag it. They will assume it's you, right?
yeah.
But if the transaction is happening in like Dubai and you are in the in the US, they will flag it. So I think they're gonna do a geo tagging where they can see where you logged in, or even
Yeah.
Google. Sometimes yeah, they're like, oh, someone logged in from Abuja, at this
Mm,
time, right? So I think they're gonna use that to track who is logging in from where. And I'm like, what is like? Some people are going to definitely go and get their own, accounts now because of this, right? But
Yeah.
to me, I feel like what's the trade-off? Because most people watch Netflix for free because they are on
Yeah.
somebody else's
I
accounts.
thought the main person
account.
is paying now. I guess they want to make more money. Maybe. I don't know.
Exactly. So instead of
No,
one person
but
paying, 4 people are not paying.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Is it only in some parts of the world? Netflix increased my this thing, my
Yeah,
monthly subscription
yeah.
recently. So why are they now doing this one again?
It's
I
increased
thought.
plus the rollout of this new feature.
No, wow. But then already they do that because if you have Netflix sending you emails when people log in, a new person logs in, they tell you where the person is logging in from anyway. So it will not even be hard for them to put this thing on in
Exactly, to
the work.
block.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Ah.
Hmm.
So that's where they're going to with it. To me, it just made no sense. I feel like there has to be other ways to monetize, maybe increase the, because what it is that you need to have the family sharing subscription to be able to even do this password sharing. I know
Yeah.
last year or late, maybe 2018 or 2019, they did the feature where if more than four people are logged on, right, at the same time, it will bounce the 50% off and say that you cannot
Yeah.
log on until somebody else has
Yes,
logged
yes, I
off. Yeah,
remember
so
that. Yeah.
maybe increase the fee for
Adding
more
an extra
people. Yeah,
person.
maybe
Yeah.
so that maybe I will pay the $5. Why you so if you Eka have paid this the 16, I don't know how much this thing is now, right? And then you're not adding me, and I give you my own $5 right for it. But just it makes no sense to me. I just feel like I mean, they want to increase revenue, I'm sure, but I feel
Yeah.
like is this the smartest way? Maybe bring ads. Like I don't know. Like maybe bring ads back.
No,
You
they should
know.
not bring ads. Like,
Please.
Ah,
We are so happy with Netflix for what it
as
is.
in,
Please, I beg, let
yeah,
ads
push
not
this
no,
come.
but there's a
subscription.
trade-off, right? Do you want ads or do you want to pay your own
Ex-
individual?
Me,
yeah.
I'm paying for my own show. To be honest, I hate ads like YouTube. Oh my god, like everywhere.
I mind though. I mind, please, because I don't think I've ever paid for Netflix in my life. As in my
Me, I
lifetime,
have
I've
a
never.
like,
Okay, that is why you people are having issue with it now.
Exactly. So that we're
Because
having some
you're not the friend that is
difficulties.
paying. You're the
Exactly.
friend receiving.
Receiving the Woo!
Ah, on a serious note, though, if one person decides that they are going to foot the bill for four people, why don't you just leave us alone? You know?
Exactly. Another thing that I'm concerned that, well, not concerned really, but I think from a Netflix standpoint, Amazon Prime, like Amazon Prime right now, right, where they
mm,
edge Netflix is in the contents, right, the quality of their contents, right. So if people are going to, rebel against Netflix and switch to Amazon Prime, I feel like Netflix is going to lose more business because Amazon Prime, yeah, if you already have Prime for your shipping for
That's what
like
I wanted
two
to
days
say.
by
That you
default
have
you already
more.
have it.
Yes.
Exactly. So if they now use this idea to invest in their content,
Mm.
right, Netflix may have some problems on their hand.
No, but you know what I'm just thinking? How are they even going to do it? So if I am with somebody in my house and I'm watching Netflix, because now if you travel, let's
Hmm.
say I travel and I have my Netflix account details and I want to watch Netflix and I travel from where I am to somewhere else, are they going to now stop me from watching Netflix? Or they would have known my device that, or let's say I even use a new device, like it's going to be annoying because a
Well,
lot of
so
people watch Netflix on the go.
that is fair. Now, again, using the bank example, one thing the my bank app used to do is to say if you're traveling, set up your travel alerts so that we know that okay, from this
Yeah.
date to this date you are in this location,
So we
right?
know not to block your cards.
Exactly. Now,
Mm-hmm.
now to your point though, right? That is if I'm traveling, typically most times internationally, right?
Yes,
With Netflix, you may go and visit a friend in the same country, right?
exactly.
And yeah, and don't and it's not like not natural behavior to like set up an alert for that kind of a trip, right?
Or
yeah,
carry your laptop self. Let's say, oh, you tell your friend, oh, bring your laptop. I have
Yeah.
Netflix accounts. So would
Or
they now
even in
start?
a hotel, you're traveling
Exactly.
for work or something, or or vacation, and you want to like do that. So I don't know. This just seems like that like it's very money focused, and I'm all
it
for
is.
Mm,
focusing on money, but I feel like have they weighed the cons? Because if you increase your what do you call it
tariff
your
and then do this
tariff
one.
and this, and you now lose audience, right? In the long run, does that hurt you? Because
Mm.
Disney Plus is also coming,
That's what
you
I
know,
wanted to say. There's Apple TV, there's
Apple
Disney Plus.
TV.
They've all come up now, and you
Mind
want
you,
to start
coming to
doing this
America
one.
came out on Amazon. It didn't come out
Amazon
on
Prime,
Netflix.
Mm.
exactly.
So,
I
and I
remember
think,
one time
yeah, sorry, go on.
football was like they were Amazon was doing something that they were showing BT Sports or something. I can't remember.
Right.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, a lot of people that are football fans went start getting Amazon because they were like,
Yeah.
it's cheaper than Sky. So if I do this, even if it's for a few weeks, so they
Yeah,
should be careful, oh, because we know that Amazon can
they
can
can do.
take that market. The only
Yeah.
problem I have with Prime is that they need to organize the way they display their thing. Okay.
Yeah. I think with Prime, they just went on to just, let's just chook leg
Shook
inside.
head
But
inside.
once
But
they
is
focus
Amazon
on you,
is Amazon Prime like is it global like Netflix? Like can Nigerians? Because I've never used Amazon Prime for like I've not used their streaming stuff.
that's a good
I don't know.
question
Because
because
Netflix is more global, like they're more globally
Yes.
focused. So I
that's
mean they
that, that's
have
a
that.
good question.
And
Yeah,
Does Amazon Prime, for example, have Nigerian films and
that's
every other
like
So
and
thing?
other
it does.
countries.
So I think one of AY's films was released on Amazon Prime.
All right.
I
Okay.
think so. What I'm saying is because the reason why people are going to why they are releasing Nigerian films on Netflix is because that's where the eyeballs are, right? If the
Mm,
Mm,
eyeballs switch to Amazon Prime, they will cut the exact same deal, right?
yeah.
With Amazon Prime for the
mm,
content. Do you get what
mm.
I'm saying? So that's where I feel like, yeah,
I mean, to
I'm
be
So
just
honest,
reading
it's
now.
just to make more money, sure.
Amazon Prime is available in Nigeria.
it is okay. So
Has
that means
launched
you
200 countries. Okay.
that means you will just pay your
Prime.
your prime fee.
Mm,
So you won't get prime delivery, right? But you get access to the movie base.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, Netflix, sure. I'm a Netflix stan, so we stayed there, we died here. That's all.
Mm,
It's a war of content because we're expecting, well, I guess for those who liked Bridgerton, we're expecting the second season to
that's
come
the
out.
thing. They've signed some good
Yeah,
deals.
they signed
Like,
some good deals. So it's
yeah.
really a war of content. Like, is their content power enough to make people double
Yeah.
That's
down?
why that's why even when Disney Plus started coming and making noise, I was like, okay, if it is to watch Beyonce something that I'll get, I just told my friend, I beg borrow me username and password. Let me watch Beyonce something if that is the case, and then
Move on.
But
we move
I
on.
think, but Disney itself, like I think Disney owns ABC, like that
Yeah,
TV network. I'm
Yes,
thinking
and
ABC shows
ESPN.
ESPN and
exactly.
yeah, and
So
some
I
other
mean,
yeah.
Disney is a force to contend with because they have like they own all these things that they can put. I mean, let's see, sure,
And they
Netflix.
just
Just
started. They just started
yeah, they just
the war
Exactly.
so
against Netflix.
uh,
So
Everybody's
because
really
that's what
fighting Netflix
happened to
because Netflix
Blockbuster.
has made money.
in this pandemic, because you're not going
I
to any
swear.
cinema.
Exactly.
And I think Disney also owns some studios as well. So all of these big
Yeah,
box office movies can be released on Disney
I think
Plus.
Pixar and stuff like all
Yeah,
those.
Pixar.
Exact
Disney is
Pixar, yeah.
Pixar.
So
Yeah,
they
for
can
sure.
release it on Pixar, or, on their Disney Plus platform
Yeah,
before they even release it on in cinemas, and then before we even get
And
to Netflix itself.
yeah.
then all these
Amazon might even go down. Should they start food delivery one time? Like
Yeah.
Amazon might leave that space, and it will just be Disney versus Netflix. Because Disney,
yeah.
I don't trust those people.
Even Marvel and all these
Yeah. Yeah.
National Geographic is Disney.
It's
Huh.
Disney. Yep.
Hey, Disney, oh, see how we are like this. One person controlling things.
Now,
Oh
so
my
so
god.
Netflix, don't get to, because Netflix share stock price also went up crazy during this pandemic, because again, nobody's going to cinema. This is our entertainment,
Yeah.
right? Apparently, if you've caught the cable cord, a long time ago, this is how you watch TV basically, right?
Yeah.
So I think maybe they've gotten a bit you know they are priding
Right
against
in
themselves.
again. Yeah,
They are
that's
priding against themselves. So let's see how it goes. Netflix, let's see how it goes. You understand if it's here, but let's see how it goes. Anyway, let's jump into the meats of this episode today. So today we're going to be talking about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and the interview that they granted to Oprah. And I think that came out on CBS, which may be a family of the Disney.
Hmm.
Maybe,
Yeah, I
maybe.
think so.
Anyway, so yeah, please, who did not watch? Let's start there. Who did not watch the interview? Let us
I
begin
didn't
with
So
watch
that.
it.
let
I saw highlights.
Hype.
let me
Okay,
just say
okay.
that I watched it on Instagram. After I after I watched all the key parts on Instagram and Twitter, I just said no need for me to watch it
Okay,
again.
yeah, I watched the full 2 hours, so I can help you out with some facts
So
and
you saw their
clarifications.
house in wherever
Yes, yeah, in Santa
wow.
Monica. Yep, yep, yep.
Wow.
They have chickens, in their
I heard that.
house. So cute. A cute one it is. So, okay, so based on what you watched, whether it's IG, Twitter, wherever, let's do
Mm.
initial reactions. And I want to come to you, Eka, first, as our person closest to the Queen. You know, if you could give us some initial, I guess, your reactions to the interview, or what you've seen of the interview,
Mm.
in line with what you've kind of experienced in terms of her, her treatment in the press, and how she has been portrayed in the British tabloids.
So I you know what? At first, when I knew the interview was coming out, I thought that at least they would just touch on the press, but it was well, what I watched too on my Instagram gist, it was very focused on them in the house, or in the I say in
Yes,
the house, in the
yes,
palace, and the firm, that's the royal
I
family
can confirm
firm, the
that.
franchise, the everything.
Yeah.
So which, to be honest, for me, for me personally, knowing what the British press has been spewing and going helter skelter since, I don't know, for me, that was just like, you guys are not even that important, so we're not even going to bother about you. But yeah, moving on to the main focus of the day. So that for some strange reason, I was happy about that. But then moving on to the main interview itself, I would say it wasn't unexpected that um things were said
Mhm.
that were not what would I say? It wasn't unexpected that things were said that will
Politically
obviously
correct or politically.
expose things that are happening inside somewhere that we know never know what is happening inside. We only see what they are showing us. Do you get what I mean? So I personally, I think I have an opinion that might not be, I don't know, depending, I don't know. I'll hear what you guys have to say. But to me, in summary, I believe Harry and Meghan came and they did that video because obviously I don't think they ever said that they were coming out to be people of peace. So they've been hurt by how they've been they've been hurt by how they've been treated, and I believe they thought it fair to have their own voice, because that's this I believe this is the only way. They are not going to go and, if they go and legal battle with a royal family, is not going to
Mm.
work. So it's like, okay, let us come out and at least give our own point of view, because since we have been keeping quiet and everybody has been saying this, not particularly the royal family themselves, but then the tabloids have been giving assumptions. So let us give you our own opinion, and since we are free people now. So I believe that is what the platform, that is what it was used for. Obviously, there's money involved as well, which is another angle of it. But then I just believe
Wait, when
that
you
is
say
what they
money
did.
involved, what do you mean?
In the sense that obviously the interview was not something that was free of charge. They didn't call Oprah and
Was
sit down.
now, so that's where there are two stories involved. There have been some rumors
Okay.
that they were paid $7 million
Okay.
for the interview,
Wow.
but Oprah made it a point to ask her on the interview, like I think one of the first questions, that were you paid in any way to do this interview, and she said no.
All right.
Now,
Okay.
now,
Okay.
to be honest, I don't 100%.
Believe that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that anybody's lying, but to me, I'm open for a different storyline, if that makes
Mm.
sense on that.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
Oprah asked that question when they
yes,
started
that
the interview.
were you
Okay.
paid for this interview? Yeah,
And she said no.
and she
All
said no.
right. Okay. All right. So that because me, I've been thinking they got paid though for the interview. But
Yeah.
if they didn't get paid, okay, I removed that one from what I've said now. But I believe me, I'm all for, because they will say now, if I don't come and talk, they will say I did not come and talk. That this is that. So as they've come to talk now, this is their own talk, and
Hmm.
they've talked their talk and they've gone to go and sit down. So it's now everybody now running helter skelter and saying, how dare you? How dare you? People like Piers now leaving his work after they have finished recording the
Oh
thing
my
maybe a
dear.
month ago. You understand? So it was interesting. It's something that is not inevitable, because to be honest, this whole royal family franchise self, or whatever, what should I call it, a lot of people, there's a school that says, what's the point? There's a school that says, oh, they're alpha
Hmm.
and omega, leave them there. So it depends on which school a lot of people are. The school of what's the point is that they are costing us a lot compared to this tourism that they say they are bringing, which is the only thing they are bringing. After that, what is the point? So there's the whole thing. It's there's a lot, I will say.
Can I ask a question about the British press real quick? So, because
Okay.
as far as I was concerned, right
Mm,
after they announced that they were going to step down as part-time royals, or whether it was claimed that they quit or whatever, she said that they didn't quit, by the way, but that the
Yeah.
agreement initially was going to be a part-time schedule,
mm-hmm,
and then eventually that kind of went away. But basically, so when they had this announcement, I think back beginning of last year, saying that we're going to be part-time royals, right? There was a
Of
big
course.
hullabaloo about it, right? But in my opinion, that gave way to COVID. And I don't think anybody was really talking about it too much after um,
Hmm.
that. Am I
mm.
correct in that assumption from like a British press standpoint, or was that still a major headline in British press or British tabloid after that initial hullabaloo in January when they announced that they were going to step down?
I mean, there were many things that were worrying people.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was as hot as it was in January,
Right.
but it was still there. It's not as if people stop, like the press stopped putting their eye in their matter. Do you get what I mean? But it wasn't like all of a sudden it wasn't as hot as, obviously we're talking about them now after the interview has come out.
Right.
So it somewhat died down because there were other issues that came up that are disturbing us now. We want to like come out of lockdown, blah 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 blah. So that is what was disturbing people. So obviously there was a high, then there was a low, then obviously the interview does then comes out, and then now it has raised the talks again as to the
Right.
high. Yeah,
Okay.
I feel.
Effie, baby
Except,
girl.
except, except I wasn't checking, but then in all the news, it wasn't a blockbuster, to be
I would
honest.
assume it was because I mean COVID was
Yeah.
basically the whole of last year. Like no one was
Yeah.
checking for which royal wasn't or was. I mean maybe again, but I feel like COVID just you know especially as I think they announced in January and COVID hit like maybe like what March. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we were quickly redirected to other things, and then racism happened
Mm,
or not happened, but like racism became
yeah.
heightened, and
Yeah.
that kind of took a different twist and turn there. But
Yeah.
as a baby girl, let's see what you saw
Hmm.
on the IG streets.
Can I just
God,
say,
Oh my
God.
I
God.
don't really know much about Meghan, to be honest. I did watch the wedding, but I don't know much. But I will say this. Um,
Hey, hey, God. Can our
We
fans
cannot
understand
even
this accent
understand you,
now? That was
we
it.
ourselves.
Ah,
I know you guys don't understand British English, but that's what I'm
Mm-mm.
speaking though. I will
Okay.
okay, let me just go to my Nigerian thing. So basically, what stood out for me was the fact that she was saying that they said something about her child's skin tone,
yeah.
which I mean, I think Oprah asked Harry, and Harry didn't. I didn't watch it. I saw highlights, but I don't think Harry said anything. I think he said he won't speak on it or
Yeah,
something.
let me clarify. He said because Oprah asked, "Can you say
He
who said it?"
confirmed it though.
He,
He
yeah,
confirmed
he
that it was
confirmed
Yeah,
said.
that it was said, but that he's not
Yeah.
going to, say like what
he,
context it came out in
he
or
or
who
who
said it.
said it?
And
Yeah.
mind
So that
you,
yeah,
what's her name? Megan headed through Harry, so no one told her this
yeah,
directly. She headed
that
Yes. It
through
was
Harry.
said. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I think she implied or she said that they were actually forced to step down. I don't know if that's true, Sha. I don't know, maybe my highlights wasn't right. But I think she said that before they said they weren't going to do something, that basically some things had happened. I think she was depressed, she was suicidal.
Hmm.
And then I noticed that what I noticed was I remember when Diana had her kids, like they always do this picture thing right from the hospital where they
Right.
carried the
Mm.
child. And I don't think Megan did that. So I was like, this
Let
thing,
me
maybe
She
let me
there's
did. She
explain
did
that.
that. She did
No, no,
that,
no, no,
but
no,
she
no,
didn't
no,
do it at
no.
the right time.
Yeah, at the right
Specified.
oh,
time. And let me
Yeah.
explain what she was saying with that. So what she said with that was that, and again, I feel like let me tell you how she said this. Yeah, basically,
mm,
she said that when she was pregnant with Archie, there were conversations around the fact that Archie would not get a title,
Mm.
yeah,
and
yeah, I
and
remember that one.
and as such, no security,
Mm.
Yes.
right? And so they were concerned that if this child is not going to be protected, then why do we need to,
Do
Yeah.
the do.
show him
Yeah.
to the, to the world that it is part of tradition that,
Okay.
Prince Harry's, child gets a
Oh,
title and gets security. Like
Mm.
that's a standard
yeah.
tradition. So if you're not going to uphold that piece, then why should we uphold the optics,
Yeah.
um,
Of the whole thing.
yeah, piece of it as well? Yeah, that
And
was where
Olori, correct me if I'm wrong. Megan as well was not to be given security, right?
as well. Yeah, that her security was
Mhm.
also in question. Now, from what I understand in the interview, though, any real kind of pullback on the security happened when they chose to become part time. So
Okay.
as far as I'm
Okay.
concerned, they had some
They still
security in
had
some
security. Mm.
capacity. It was in the decision to move to Canada and be part time that they did that even Harry's security got pulled
Was
off.
taken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Mm.
then Harry said they were living off, I think, Diana's estate or something. I think she
Yeah.
left some So I mean, it's just that. At the beginning, no, let me not lie, because when I saw the headline, I was like, Megan, why you coming to drag this family? But it's good to always watch before you speak, Sha. Because I was like, Auntie, please don't come and But I mean, I think I understand what she's saying, and then I think the whole thing, yes, there's racism involved. I also think there's also like classism involved, and also like just I mean the real, like I think it's like in Nigeria how rich families marry themselves. So it's like Megan is just an actress, and she so I think that's probably a bigger thing. And then of course the race thing is also, that was my whole take on it. Sha. Like the
What's the bigger?
aristocracy, like
Older, divorcees, blah
exactly.
There are many
blah. There are
things
many
going,
things.
yeah.
There are many things.
So,
Harry went to the market and got what they don't normally get.
I mean, but that's why Chelsea was like, you guys, I can't do this thing. So carry your royal kidney and be going. Let me live my life. Chelsea just left Harry, and well, I guess Megan said she didn't know. Something that stuck out for me was she said that she did not. She was
Yeah.
saying something about not Google her husband. I'm like, I don't know, Sha. Let me know.
No,
I mean,
she
I
did
don't have.
not know him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
No,
that's what she was claiming.
that she knew that he was a prince, that he was Prince Harry, but she didn't do
Okay.
any
Like research
more
or anything.
research.
Yeah, so I'm like, Auntie, I don't know. I don't know if I believe it, but it's okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good segue into my own thought process on this,
Mm,
right? So let me start with the positive, right?
okay.
I like the fact that regardless of whether I think she's lying or whether I think she's overplaying things, or
Doing it. Yep.
whatever the case may be, I love the fact that her husband, who knows the truth more than any of us know, is
Yeah.
Yeah.
standing with
Thank
her.
you, sister.
So I definitely, I am happy for her because of that. But there are many things that I felt in this interview was unnecessary. Number one, and this is where I may be with Piers Morgan on this one, right? Is I know we all want press when it's nice to us,
Mm,
right? But I don't know that we get in the public eye to like pick and choose. Do you get what I'm saying? When we get good or when we get bad. Like this interview, for example, as I said, and that's why I asked that question, because in my opinion, I think this kind of died down. Like this whole, like you've moved on, right, to your non-royal, life or
life.
whatever, you
Mm,
know, like I don't think you were top of mind for many people anymore with like all the things that have
Yeah.
happened in the last year. So you doing this interview for me was rehashing. So one thing that I
Mm,
feel uncomfortable with is when people say, "Well, I'm saying my truth for my own mental health." You are
mm,
allowed to do that, but there are consequences of that, which to me is you now brought you've not given the same British press food, right,
mm,
to eat. So there are consequences, right? This is your truth that you feel like you need to say, fine. But if people now run with this and create their own storylines, that's also their own or a consequence of you coming out this way. Do you get what I'm trying to say there?
mm,
Um, thirdly, to Fa's point, I came out of that interview, and this is for both Meghan and Harry, feeling like they were extremely either naive about what they were going into. To your point, she said one thing specifically in the interview, right? Which I
mm,
appreciate her for saying that. When you see the Queen and you curtsy, right?
mm,
yeah.
We see that in public. And
mm,
when she was going to meet the Queen for the first time, it was by mistake, right? They were going to go and
mm,
have lunch in one of these, is it Windsor House, one of these other their houses, right?
Castle.
And the
Yeah.
Queen was attending a church service in the area. So she
Mm,
thought her that, oh, Harry and some of our other grandkids are around in that house. So she said that, let me just drive by and just say hello. So when they heard that, okay, the Queen is coming, Harry now asked her, do you know how to curtsy? And she said no. So Harry and one of the women that were there, taught her how to curtsy. And she said
mm,
that for the first time she realized that all this curtsy thing is not just PR. When you
mm,
meet the
Yeah.
Queen, you curtsy. That's just what
mm.
happens, no matter who you are
Yes.
or where you
Yes.
are, no
Yeah.
cameras or not, you are curtsying there. So
Mm.
to me, I'm like, if maybe before then you weren't
You were
aware of
taught.
how things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That should have woken you up to, okay, maybe I'm not fully aware of what's happening here,
Yeah.
right? So that's where I feel like she, to me, like again, I'm not that, and I was harder than you thought for you, like I can appreciate that, but I think that maybe some planning on your part could have maybe solved some of these issues.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not discounting that race and everything was also involved in that.
Mm.
The other thing that I would say quickly though is also on Harry's part. Okay, so now you people are going against the establishment. We're not doing royal anymore. Boom, boom, boom. Why? Like this whole like I had to depend on Diana's inheritance seems like you put no plan financially, and then last minute you have to back on Diana's your inheritance. So I'm like, what was the thought process that they will hug you as you're going out of the royal? Like you're a senior royal, you're a prince. Like so like what was the thought process there that they would just say, okay, yes, my children just go home. Like as in there was no as adults, the planning seemed to be lacking on both their parts. That's kind of my own
Mm.
thing there. But we wanted to segue into like bringing it into a Nigerian context. So I don't know if we have our special guest online here in the interest of time. But the whole idea that Nigerian men pick their family members above their wives without any like it's not even a thought process. Do you get what I mean? Like they just pick them above their wives. And maybe I'll just say this as we wait for our and please let me know when our guest
Yeah.
arrives.
Mm-hmm.
But basically what I find interesting about that is that men are quick to run to the Bible and say submission, the Bible says that we should submit. But the same Bible says that you should leave your father and your mother and cleave to your
Wife.
to your wife. So I don't know why Nigerian men just forget that parts of the Bible and give us the submissive part. So I think we have Mr. Anon in the building. Woo!
Hello.
Hello, thanks
Hello.
for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. I've been a big fan of the show, so I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. When we win the Grammys, we'll dedicate it to our early fans there. But so where we are now is again Nigerian men and this whole idea that the family comes first before their wives. What's your general take on that?
Well, I think it's because of what has happened over time that
Okay.
it makes it look like that is what it is. For me personally, wives come first, personally. But I can understand why people would feel that their mothers would come first, because to them, their mothers have always had their back. So, but I feel it's a cycle, and I can dive more into it. So basically, the cycle is a man is married to a woman, but then he doesn't treat the woman well. Like, what do you marry for? That's the question. So a lot of people don't realize what they marry for, and some people just marry to have a wife in the house, have a cook, have the mother of their children. Sometimes it's political marriage and what have you. So there are many differences, many different reasons people get married. So that's one of the things. So you see that those men don't take care of their wives. They're like either traveling, sending the wives on holidays separately. They don't have any friendship with their wives. The children see that and learn that. Now the wife gets a second husband. Who is her second husband? Her son. So now when she... Thank you. So once he has that second husband, she's going out with her second husband. Not that you shouldn't take your mother out on dates, but that happens. You go out with your second husband, you do everything for your second husband. The only thing that you're not doing with your second husband, as discussing aside, is the sex. But outside of that, it's every other thing, all the affection, all the love. So that's all the boy knows. So once he leaves and he has learned a bad behavior from his father of not treating his mother right, he has seen his mother look at him as
of not treating his
husband.
mother or his the father is not treating the wife right. His own father.
Yes, so his own father is not treating his mother right. Exactly.
Okay.
So he has learned that behavior, even subconsciously, as much as he says, I don't want to be like my father when I grow up. And then he meets a girl, and the same thing. His mother is still his first wife, which to him, he is her second husband. He cannot drop his first wife like that. Where are you coming from? You can't expect him to just throw his first wife away. Who are you? Seriously, like, where are you coming from? And then he now goes with the mindset that, oh, my mother is irreplaceable, all those things. And they are all enforced because of that bond that has been formed over time. The only places you don't see those bonds like that deep is maybe with mothers that have many sons, because she has to spread the love across. So sometimes you don't see that much with men like that. But with men that last bonds, only sons or only boys, you find that a lot in them, because the mother becomes their wife first wife. And then obviously due to the bad behavior in Nigeria, where a boy is only looking for love with his mother, but his wife is different, or the wife is only looking for, let me say, the wife looks at the husband as a father figure. So you pay my bills, you do everything for me. So when he's getting married, he's looking at her like, I'm coming as a father figure as well. Just submit to me. I pay your bills. I do everything for you. That's all you are to me. So don't come and ask for more. How can you come and take my mother's place?